Hey everyone, welcome to the Practice Solutions. I'll be going through all the questions in detail, so please make sure that you're checking your work and you have everything completely correct to get that perfect score in this section. All right? All right, so our first question says, Mr. Ability was checking to see if x equals 7 was a solution to the equation 4x minus 3 equal to 2x plus 11. He concluded that it was not a solution based on the following work. We want to know if he was correct, and if he was not, we want to circle his mistakes and redo the problem showing the correct mistake. All right, so what I'm going to do is I would just suggest that you just do the problem on your own because it's always a little bit more difficult to check someone else's work without doing it yourself. All right, so we have 4x minus 3 equal to 2x plus 11. We know that x is equal to 7, so we're going to substitute all our x's for 7. So we have 4 times 7 minus 3 equal to 2 times 7 plus 11. 4 times 7 is 28, 28 minus 3, and then we have 2 times 7, which is 14, so 14 plus 11. 28 minus 3 is 25, and 14 plus 11 is 25. So in our case, it does check out. So x is a solution. Now let's compare our work with the work that Mr. Ability did. So the first thing it says, he did substitute correctly. He just used a multiplication symbol in here versus the parentheses. So they're telling you the same exact thing. But now down here, it says 4 times 4, meaning he did 7 minus 3 first to get this 4, and then on the other side we see 18, which means he did 7 plus 11 first to get this 18. Now, remember, our order of operation is PEMDAS, which means we do parentheses first, then we do exponents, then multiplication and division from left to right, and then followed by addition and subtraction. So in this case, he did not do the correct form of PEMDAS. He did the addition and subtraction first before doing the multiplication. So his mistake was completing this piece first when it should have been the multiplication of 4 times 7 and the multiplication of 2 times 7. Our next set of questions talk about we want to solve the following equations, and then we want to substitute to check our work. Now, since we're solving our equations, we want to use our DCMI, don't call me impossible. So we want to check our list to see if we could distribute. Then we want to combine like terms that are on the same side if possible. Then we want to move the variable to one side and then do inverse operations to isolate the variable. So our first question, there's no distribution, there's no combining of like terms on the same side. My variable is already on one side, so once again, just inverse operations. So minus 3, we have 4x equal to negative 20, divide by 4 on both sides, x equal to negative 5. Now we just want to substitute it in. We have 4 times negative 5 plus 3 equal to negative 17. This is negative 20 plus 3. That gives us negative 17. And once again, it checks out. Our last one, same steps. There's no distributing. There's no combine of like terms on the same side. Our variable is already on one side, so we just have to do inverse operations. So keep in mind as I'm doing this, you always want to get all the terms away from the variable to make sure, oops, can't talk and work at the same time. So you want to make sure that you have all the terms away from the variable. That's the goal. 75. Divide both sides by 5. So we have x is equal to 15. So 5 times 15 plus 12 is equal to 87. That's 75 plus 12. And 87 is equal to 87. Okay? Our next set, same thing. Over here now, there is distribution. We have a term on the outside followed by a set of parentheses with no operation in between. So negative 6 times x is negative 6x. And then negative 6 times negative 1, because there's a minus sign in front of it, gives us a positive 6 equal to 18. From there, minus 6 on both sides. Negative 6x is equal to 12. Divide by negative 6. X is equal to negative 2. Test it out. We have negative 6 parenthesis negative 2 minus 1 equal to 18. We have negative 6. That gives us negative 3 equal to 18. And a negative 6 times negative 3 is a positive 18. And 18 is equal to 18. Our last one here, we're going to be minus 2. So that gives us 8x equal to a negative 4. Divide both sides by 8. So now that gives us x is equal to negative 1/2. And if you're using a calculator, it's going to show negative 0.5. Okay, we test it out. So we have 8 times negative 1/2 plus 2 equal to negative 2. Now remember, if we have a fraction and we're multiplying it, it sometimes helps if you put everything as a fraction, so you multiply straight across. So 8 times negative 1 is negative 8, and 1 times 2 is 2, plus 2 equal to negative 2. Negative 8 divided by 2 is negative 4, plus 2 equal to negative 2, and negative 2 is equal to negative 2. Our last one here for this section, I'm going to distribute. So I have 5 times x, which is 5x. 5 times a positive 1, which is positive 5. Then we write minus 2x equal to, this is also distributive. So 2 times 3 is 6. And 2 times a positive x is a positive 2x. Now, we want to combine like terms that are on the same side. On this side, we have a 5x and a negative 2x that are like terms because they have the same variable to the same power, which is 1 in this case. So that gives us 3x plus 5. And on this side, we have a 6 plus 2x. Now we want to move variables to one side. It doesn't matter which way you move it as long as you use the correct operation. I like my variables to be on the left side. If you like your variables to be on the right side, by all means, do that, okay? You'll just be doing the opposite inverses of what I'm doing. So to bring this 2x over to the left side, I'm going to subtract it. What I do to one side, I do to the other. So that gives me 1x, or just x, plus 5 equal to 6. Now all my x's are on this side. I'm going to move my positive 5 here. So minus 5 on both sides. And x is equal to 1. Now to just test it out. So we have 5 times 1 plus 1 minus 2 times 1 equal to 2 times 3 plus 1. This gives me 5 times 2 minus 2 times 1 equal to 2 times 4. 5 times 2 is 10. 2 times 1 is 2. and 2 times 4 is 8. 10 minus 2 is 8, and 8 is equal to 8. All right? Hope that's all. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.